in the Latin language was domus. That's why the word domicile, domestic. And imagine the main entrance, we still use the word nowadays, vestibulo. So this is the vestibulo, the entrance.
This is one house.
Then in the shade over here. Some of you can go right next to the shade of there if you want. Some of you there in the corner and some of you here. So try always to stand in the shade.
I can do that.
I'll be the only one suffering for you in the sun. Okay, all the others please. You got shade up there and there. So vestibula, main entrance. This we call the atrium. The atrium was where the family lived the most of the day. Now it's empty, but you must imagine they didn't have really a lot of furniture. They had benches, not chairs. They had a beautiful marble tables. They had those special couches that could be used for sleeping and to rest and to eat, because those people loved it very much, to lie down and eat. This was the way of the patricians, the wealthy family. This marble, it's the original one. And this was, in many houses, a cistern to catch the rainy water. Because before they got aqueducts, these people must collect the rainy water. So the roof on this atrium, imagine, had the idea of my umbrella. The shape was not like this above the atrium, but was like this. It means the roofs were sloping into the house, right? With the hole in the center to catch the rainy water through a pipe into the wells. And anytime they needed, they could get extra water. Then finally, when they got aqueducts, these people with a lot of money could pay extras and have a running water directly into the house. These little rooms, we call cubicula, cubicles, the little bedrooms. This one here, where you're standing now, was the triclinium, which means a dining and also used sometimes as a living room. But you see now you have the view through everywhere. You must imagine the back of each room was or a wall and a little window in the center or big wooden doors in order to be separated from another section of the house, but was in the walls of the house, even the other section. The little peristyliums, the garden. So these people, everything they own must be in the house, not outside. And they care more for privacy, not really for view. All right, this was the way of these people. If you go, well, you can even come just for a second on this side. You can see that little corner. That was the kitchen area, all right? And what is interesting, only this part of the house, it had a higher building. I mean, like, a sort of a loft, a mezzanine. And even for the slaves living. Now, back in the shade. 2,000 years ago, one of the biggest problems was, remember I said, the sewer systems. So, the 80% of the town, it's without. We noticed that the main streets, they got sewer systems underneath. So if you were lucky to live close to the main street, it doesn't matter if you had money or not, from your house you could have good flashing out, all right? But just in case your building, your shop, your house was very far from the sewer, it was much better to have always that little room that we call the latrines, but chamber pots. Slaves used to take care to clean, to throw it away, and already exists at that time like a garbage company. Nowadays we pay, they come to collect even for dirt. But 2,000 years ago, Emily, no toilet paper. Can you imagine the way they clean them?
No.
Oh my.
No. Well, they must have used their hands, but to hold something in their hands.
Leaf. Just kidding. It's not a
The
leaf.
rocks?
The rocks? Oh, Jesus.
Hey, that's what they got. A smooth rock?
They They used natural sea sponges. And the toilet sponges was with the little wood stick. So hold hand, keep always hand very clean. And with the water, they wash themselves. We say in Italian, the bidet. But imagine, each member used to have their own sponges. And already existed a special liquid to sterilize, to disinfect it, sponges, their hands. Nowadays, we use alcohol, aromatic alcohol. 2,000 years ago, they also produced in their houses, boiling, very hot temperatures, boiling vinegar. They mixed up with the aromatic essence and they filter it. And that liquid, it's like nowadays you have alcohol. So the vinegar filtered with the aromatic scents was the alcohol to sterilize, to disinfect it. This was the way 2,000 years ago. And I think they use really very hygienic systems, much smarter than nowadays, all right? But now we go back to the street. We're going to walk as far as the main square where we have the most important building of the town. Okay, suppose, Osteen, you were here 2,000 years ago. Probably Daddy said to you, go to Pompeii with your little donkey or horse and buy for me something from this shop. But once you're here with your horse or donkey, where are you going to park the donkey? I mean, you cannot leave it free in the street. You cannot take the horse in the shop.
Right there.
No stable around here. So the way was very simple. If you check the board of the sidewalk, and right here you can see, every now and then you find these holes carved in the rocks. The hitching post of that time. The parking meters, we have nowadays. So this was the way how to park for a few minutes. And we noticed that not everybody had them. So this was in order also to win a competition, because they sell more or less the same stuff. So nowadays, you know that if you want to open business, no parking, no business. No way to please my clients, no business. This was the way that time.
It's like those vendors.
Yeah.
3 euros. 3 euros.
And about the shape of Pompeii. So on my right, your right, very narrow street. And this is avenue. So streets and avenues. And you see even the little streets sloping down. Sometimes no stepping stones, but they made it like a bridge to let the rain goes out of the city.
Did you get a little nervous when you came to talk to me?
So you notice we always find more shops than houses. The largest trade center of the Roman period. Now, I'd like to show you a very beautiful marble fountain. Very interesting, this way. But before we get there, come and see, there's a wonderful